My name is Faan Botha. I'm a farmer close to Heidelberg. In 2013 I had a bit of flu and got in contact with insecticide. And the flu and the insecticide eventually ended up to give me big heart syndrome, and that ended up to give me heart problems. And in a question of about 2 weeks, I was from a 45-year-old farmer that could do everything. I was bedridden and could actually just walk 100 meters and has to go back to bed. This was such a shock to me and my wife. And after this happened, we got bad news from the doctors and cardiologists to say that the heart has broken down, or the heart deteriorated so much that they have to give, or I have to go for a heart transplant. And to me this was devastating news, because I am 45 years old. I'm really in the prime of my life. And this whole new thing is lying in front of you, and you think it's just a bad dream. You are going to wake up and eventually it's going to be all back to normal. And that didn't happen. So we went from cardiologist to cardiologist for all the tests that needs to be done, and every time we got the same prognosis to say that the heart is weak. In 2013, we then decided to, 2014, we came and see a doctor, Dr. Stanley, that specialized in pacemakers. And he was the first guy that gave us hope to say that sometimes when the heart deteriorates very fast and they can get the heart back to normal, or as normal as they can, the heart has sometimes got a way of repairing itself. But anyway, we went for the pacemaker. He said, well, it looks good, we can go for it, and he's going to get the medical aid to prove it. And for the first time we had hope. We said, well, we will go on. Well, the next news that we got is that they phoned us and to say that the medical aid is only prepared to pay 20,000 of the 180,000 that the pacemaker is going to cost us, and we don't have the money. Eventually, a friend of mine got in contact with Biotronics, a new company at that time that was doing pacemakers in South Africa as well. And I was contacted by a girl called Lorena, who then said to us if we can ask Dr. Stanley if he used Biotronic product, that I will only need to pay 50%. He was 100% happy with that, and he did it. Well, the problem is 50% is still a lot of money that we don't have at that time. The weekend before we went in, Charles, my friend that initially introduced us to Biotronics came back to me and said, listen, he has spoken to Robbie, now Robbie that is the MD of CEO of Biotronics, and he said now they will look and see if they can't help us with this. Eventually, it ended up that I was pushed into the theatre. I got a brand new, top of the range technology, Biotronic pacemaker at no cost. And for us, it was just amazing how good people, that there's still good people at the moment, or in our lives. Well, after that, we started to get this whole process, or my body up and running again, and it was just amazing. In the beginning I couldn't walk for 100 meters. I would go out in the mornings, give everybody their jobs, and then go lie down. And in the afternoon, just before everybody go home, I will just check and see if the jobs has been done. I eventually ended up to do a half day, then eventually end up to do a whole day with a rest in the middle. And at the moment I'm doing a whole day, and I can do most of the things that I normally do. And I wouldn't have that opportunity if it wasn't for Dr. Stanley, that was first of all the person that just pushed this whole thing through, and Biotronics, the people of Biotronics that listened to our story and had compassion to help us with this. So currently we are really thankful that we have people that were there at the right place at the right time, and that we were blessed because we were privileged to have these people in our lives. And that is what we want to do as well, is to pay this forward to everybody that do not have the opportunity or the money or the finances to be able to live a good life after what has happened.